Hey guys, welcome to All Ears English. In today's episode, I'm talking with our guest, Steve Ford, about situations that come up at work. You need the right phrases to express when something has gone wrong, and today we're going to show you what they are. So enjoy today's episode, and if you love All Ears English, please share it with a friend.
This is an All Ears English podcast, episode 1230. You're breaking up business collocations for Mishaps with Steve Ford. Welcome to the All Ears English podcast, downloaded more than 123 million times. We believe in connection, not perfection, with your American hosts, Lindsay McMahon, the English adventurer, and Michelle Kaplan, the New York radio girl, coming to you from Boston and New York City, USA. And to take your learning deeper with real-time transcripts and personalized vocabulary practice, download our app on your iOS device. Go to allearsenglish.com/bonuses. Today, we are happy to have our guest, Steve Ford, on the show. He'll show us how to speak up at work when something goes wrong, and he'll give you the exact native collocations that you need to sound competent and to connect. Hey, Steve, welcome to All Ears English. How are you?
Hey, Lindsay, I'm really good, and I'm really happy to be here today.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you on the show. I know you have a huge YouTube channel where you teach a variety of topics, including business and other stuff. And what is your favorite topic to teach over on your YouTube channel?
I do a lot of business English videos, helping people to speak English better at work for communication, for job interviews. And I also do TOEFL preparation videos. Also, I do a lot of general English videos to help people with phrasal verbs, vocabulary, collocations, and pronunciation. And how to speak fast, you know?
Yes. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Pronunciation is huge because if we can really say things correctly, people can understand us. And then that's where the connection comes. Isn't that right, Steve?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if we can reach out to people the best way possible and to really connect with people, as you're saying, the best way is to try to talk like a native speaker.
Yeah. And so you have been teaching English for a long time. How long have you been teaching?
I've been teaching English, for over 20 years. And
oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I've been on YouTube for 12 years now.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. And where in the world are you based? Just so that our listeners get a sense of where you are.
So if I look out my window here, I can see the Pacific Ocean here. I'm in Vancouver, out on the West Coast.
Yeah. Awesome. So we're both on the West Coast here.
Yes.
And
yeah, I can see you down from my window here, down in
all the way down among the smog, right? I'm right here inside this.
No.
But that's okay. All right, Steve. So we're excited to have you on the show today to talk about a really important topic because a lot of our listeners are in Canada. They're in the US, maybe they're in the UK, and they are working in the business world in English.
Right.
So we're going to talk today a little bit about some collocations that we need in business when things break down, right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And there are so many things that can break down. And quite often when I'm giving my private lessons to my business students, sometimes they struggle. They're looking for the right word to use.
Yes, exactly. Is that where this topic kind of inspired you from? Did this come from like direct questions from your students or stories from them?
Almost like every week. It's
Yeah. It's so hard. I mean, but if we can actually name exactly what's happening, then we can get on that connection level again with the native speakers in the office. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, exactly. So that there's no communication, at least that the communication doesn't break down. Maybe the technology breaks down, but the communication doesn't.
Right. Yeah. So imagine the opposite situation. If we don't have the words to actually name what's happening, then who knows? The other person might think we don't care or that we caused the problem. So this really helps us to build those relationships.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You don't want any mix-ups happening. People could, get the wrong impression. That's so true.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So today, Steve, we have kind of a fun little quiz we're going to try to do here and to try to figure out these words. So what is the first collocation and situation that our listeners can talk about at the office?
Okay. So the first one is when you're going to get in an elevator, for example, at work, and what would you say? Would you say the elevator is broken? Would that be normally the way people would say it? Is the elevator out of order, out of service?
Yeah, I mean, well, what do you think? I mean, I guess all of these could work, but it's really about being natural with these answers, right?
Yeah, exactly. And one that is used a lot when they hang a sign on an elevator or a big machine like that would be when the elevator is out of order or out of service. So,
I love that. Have
right?
you ever been stuck in an elevator?
Only momentarily, thank
Okay.
God. So it didn't happen for too. I've seen a lot of other people that were stuck in an elevator and pushing the alarm button and stuff like that. But luckily, that's knock on wood, that's never happened to me. Being in an elevator that was out of order, out of service. Yeah.
I love it. So what we could say there is the elevator is out of order or it's out of service, right, Steve?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I love that.
And
okay.
And right, that can be used for machines that you have at work. It could be used for other machines too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So maybe like a fax machine or something.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
If they're even used anymore, fax machines.
Well, that's
I'm
what
not
I was thinking. Yeah, I was thinking fax machine or maybe like photocopier or something like that. Do people use those anymore? I don't know.
Geez, I don't know. I mean, we both don't work in an office. So, I mean, we're here at home and just enjoying the West Coast. So I don't know. All right. So what would be another important collocation that we need to connect with our colleagues?
Okay. So this takes me back to 2003 when I was living in downtown Toronto and I had to go pick up my wife and there was no electricity. Now, how would we say that? Would we say we have no lights? Would we say the power is out or off? Or would we say the electricity is down? Like, how do we say that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, geez, I don't know if I know the answer. I mean, it says we're talking about here that when we turn the lights off, the electricity on purpose, you might say the power is out. But I feel like I would say that even when it's gone out on its own, the power's out, the power went out. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah. I'm thinking that the power is out. It means like it went out. We didn't have any control over it. And that's definitely the one that I would use. If I'm on the phone with someone and I'm in downtown Toronto and I'm sitting in a car, the stoplights don't work, the trains don't work, nothing's working. I say, the power's out. That's exactly how it's said.
Yeah, and there have been some famous outages over the years, right? I mean, you mentioned 2003.
That was a huge one. Yeah.
That was a huge one. I know that hit New York City too.
It hit New York City and it lasted for about 8 hours in Toronto, New York City, all of Ohio State, Ontario. I'm not sure. Were you in Boston at the time or no?
At that time, I think that happened in the summer of 2003. So I was actually in New Hampshire, but I was teaching tennis and there were a lot of New Yorkers that came to the club where I was teaching and they talked about it. They said, it's hilarious how New Yorkers deal with power outages. They actually connect more than they do when the lights are on. So you always hear stories of New Yorkers coming together, dancing in the streets, cooking on the sidewalk. And that doesn't happen on normal days. It could, but it's just when the lights go out that happens.
Yeah. So I like that attitude, kind of like, having fun, making, merry when you can.
They really do. Yeah. They do.
But, But what you're saying is exactly like I would say it like that too. Like the power is out. Now there is the power is off, but the meaning would change. It would be like when the power is off. I don't know if for you if it sounds like this, but it would be like we turned it off on purpose. We turned the electricity off on purpose.
That makes sense to me too. That's what I would say, right? So the power is out is when it just goes out, not on purpose. And the power's off when the city has maybe turned it off for some reason. There's some kind of construction going on or something like that.
Exactly. So that very subtle difference between the two prepositions there is really key. And in a more formal way, I mean, if you're, trying to send out an email about, the factory or the whole company premises, there's no electricity, you could say that, we're having a power outage. That would be a more formal term to describe that.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, this is great that we're talking about collocations today because it's these little prepositions, the out, the off, the over, the in, that can really trip up our listeners.
Oh, yeah.
But this is important, guys. It's the subtleties of English that are going to connect you with your colleagues. So let's keep going, Steve. What would be another one that we need to know at work?
Okay, when I'm giving class to my students who are at work and they're on their phone, one that's very common is they'll say, well, my battery, when the battery is not working and it's going to be finishing, it's going to be ending, or it's running out.
Ooh, I like running out.
Yeah, so do I. And I love the way that it's used there when you say, my battery is running out. We don't say, I think to run out of battery sounds strange, but I don't know if you would use it that way, to run out of battery.
Yeah. I guess I would, but I like running out. So my battery is running out.
Yeah. Sounds more cool. Yeah. It's kind of like we wouldn't say I'm stressed. You'd say I'm stressed out. You just add that out. It sounds more cool. I don't know why.
We love to add those prepositions at the end, but this is great. And I feel like, guys, you should really be writing this down, taking notes from today's episode, because we all deal with this, right? I think my iPhone tends to lose battery really quickly. And so, we need to be able to articulate, because maybe we need our phone for a meeting and our battery's running out. So we have to go take a break and charge it up. Okay.
Yeah.
So
charge it up. That's another good one. Yeah. So your battery. So we have the two. We have it when it's running out, and then you need to charge it up. I love it.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. So how about staying on the tone of battery, right? What would be the next one if it's completely gone?
Well, if it's completely gone, would we say my battery, the laptop battery is finished, or my phone battery is finished, or it's stopped, or it's my battery died? My battery is dead.
I really like the last one. So my battery died in the simple past, right? Or it's dead.
Yeah.
And you could say it stopped working because logistically it did, but that's not very natural. And we want to go for that native way of speaking.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more. Yeah. My battery died, or my battery is dead. And a lot of students ask me that, and I am sitting there thinking, is that too informal? Say my battery died or is dead. And I say, no, it's just the way we say it.
Yeah, no, it's not informal, and it may sound informal, but it's good to use these to be on that same level with our coworkers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I can remember going into electronics store, Best Buy, and taking in my phone, and they're the tech geek, the tech support there said, no, this phone is pooched.
Oh, interesting. I've never heard that term before. That's brand new to me.
Yeah. So pooched, in this case, extremely informal. It's often used by geeks. It's a geek term to mean that it's dead or it has died.
I've only heard the word pooch to refer to a dog, like a little poodle or something.
It's the poochie.
That's awesome. So that's a little bonus one today. Do we have a couple more for today for our listeners? Because I feel like they're really benefiting from this.
Okay, you bet. So we also have, this can happen to a lot of people. Unfortunately, would you say my car broke? My car broke down. My car is down. My car stopped.
Ooh, this one's super obvious. I mean, this one is clear, right? So I would say my car broke down.
Right.
My car broke down. I would never say my car broke. That would be weird, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be weird. And I do know that in other languages, maybe they just say broke. But we need that preposition. Like if we don't have that preposition, it's like something's missing there.
Yeah, right. What is it about North American English, right? Why do we feel like we have to add so many prepositions to things? I don't know why. We make it more complicated, but we do.
If we don't have prepositions, it's like not having coffee in the morning.
Yeah, I feel the same way, Steve. I like dark roast. What kind do you like?
I have to have dark roast. In fact, I'm having dark roast right now.
We're on the same page.
Yeah, okay.
I love it.
Anyway, so you'd say my car broke down, and any kind of bigger machine, you could say like my fridge broke down, washing machine broke down, dryer broke down, AC broke down.
Yeah. So it's kind of like the bigger machines, it's broke down, and then littler things could be to break. Like my phone broke. We could say that, right?
Yeah. You could say my phone broke. And a very informal one, you're talking about my phone broke, that I don't know if you remember this one, is some people very informally will say my phone is busted.
Oh, yeah. I like that one. Yeah, I do remember that.
Busted a window. I busted my phone.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like kind of going out of style now or if it's just like an
so.
obscure. You think so? Okay.
I think so.
Oh,
I think
sad.
It's kind of old.
It's making me feel old now then in that case. All right. Awesome. So do we have maybe one more that we could share with our listeners today?
Yeah, definitely. And this one is really important for business people who are studying business English, that in regard to internet and telephone communications, when if I'm talking and then suddenly you can't hear me too well, my voice, would you say the line is cutting, you're on and off, or you're breaking up? What do you think?
I really like you're breaking up.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
And so do I. And a lot of people, when you say that the first time we're learning English, they think, well, I'm breaking up with my boyfriend or...
Oh, no, it couldn't be that simple, right? We have to have 5 different meanings for that one phrasal verb. No, but this is great. This really is, guys. I hope you're writing this down once again. I mean, I used this just yesterday when I couldn't get good cell service inside my home office. So we use this all the time as native speakers, right, Steve?
You bet. And you could say you're breaking up or, you're cutting out. That would be another way of saying it. So it's just something that happens. So yeah, definitely. So yeah.
Yeah. I love these, Steve, because we're empowering our listeners to actually say something when something goes wrong. I think the worst thing we could do is to say nothing and to pretend that we understand or that we hear you, right? If we hear someone, we don't want to pretend that we're hearing or we're understanding or pretending that everything's okay when it's not, guys. Have the confidence to stop the person, say what's happening and solve the situation. And you can do that now in English with these words.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point, is that you have to get up the courage to say when something is not working and not just pretend that everything is okay.
Exactly. I love that. Yeah, go ahead.
That would be a very interesting topic for different ways to say when you don't understand.
Yep.
Maybe
definitely.
in a future podcast. But I'm inviting myself back, and that's not appropriate. So we'll cut that one out of the podcast.
No, that's okay. We'd love to have you back on the show. It's been great to have your voice on the show, Steve. So if our listeners want to hear more from you about what you're doing, where can they go to learn more about your work?
Okay, so you can go to my YouTube page. That's youtube.com/private English portal. Or you can go to my website directly at englishwithsteve.com. And you can find all of my videos there.
Wow, that's awesome. And you have a lot of YouTube viewers over there, right? How many subscribers do you have to your channel? It seems like a huge place for people to learn English.
We have 300,000 people worldwide.
Awesome.
And we've already come up on 20 million views worldwide. So
wow, fantastic. So guys, don't miss it. Go over and check out what Steve is doing on YouTube. And Steve, thank you for taking the time to come on the show. It's been great to have you on All Ears English.
It's been really, really a privilege to be able to talk to you. And I really had a blast.
Awesome. We'll see you back on the show soon, hopefully. Take care.
Bye for now.
All right, bye. Thanks for listening to All Ears English. If you are taking IELTS this year, get your estimated band score with our 2-minute quiz. Go to allearsenglish.com/myscore. And if you believe in connection, not perfection, then hit subscribe now to make sure you don't miss anything. See you next time.